Right, as you can see, all these walls are coated up now. You can probably see obviously a bit more than that, because they're not only coated up, but I have also went round once all this is dried. So this is the day after I've painted this, and I've actually went in and just finely filled some tiny areas where there were some imperfections. Once you've got a coat of paint on it, it shows up a lot more what is into these walls. So if you need to, go around and do another fine fill. Also, what you may find is, if you can see these spots here and here and here, these little white speckles, these are marks that have came down from the ceiling when I've painted the ceiling, and they've just sat on the walls after I'd sanded them. So we just call that denibbing. So I went round those with a bit of 80 grit and just taken those back off. Always feel what you've rubbed down, because if you can feel it and you repaint it, it will show up again. If you can't feel it and you've managed just to sand it back enough, then you shouldn't see it. If you can't feel it, that's normally a rule. If you can't feel it, you won't see it. The pad that I was using, again, it's just one of these flexi pads, just to ease this fine fill out of the walls, leaving it nice and smooth and ready for another coat. I've left this bit of tape on here because you can see after you do that, you will be left with a little bit of standing dust that's just sitting on the top of there. I will also, because I've done a bit of 2-pack wood filling, I'm also going to just knock a bit of that up and get some of that in, and show you how to deal with the bigger holes in the woodwork there. So what I tend to do, just to get this dust off here, rather than brushing it off and getting all this dust airborne, I'm going to use my Henry Hoover, and on this one, hold on this one, it's got this plastic bracket thing here, and if you turn it, it will open up like this, and it will mean that the suction coming out of this will actually be a little bit less powerful, and that will help just not lift this tape up. So what I tend to do is dust off all the areas where I've filled just with the brush, and let that dust drop down onto where that tape is down there, and just do all of it, because you don't want to be painting over any standing dust, because your paint just won't adhere to it properly. And then Hoover's going on with this bit open, not like that, like that. Get into the corner and come back. And hopefully you can see that dust there. We're just lifting it off. Without it pulling the tape. And I'll just show you that quickly, because I have been going around and hoovering the rest of the floor as well, because we just don't want a lot of dust airborne if we can help it. The 2-pack wood filler, that was my next demonstration. I may as well do these 2 at once. I've just got an old plastic corker here that I use for this task, and I'm going to get a nice, well actually not too much with this stuff because it goes off so fast. So if I get something of this size here, so what I'm going to do, it is not worth knocking up loads of this, because it goes off that fast that you're going to end up wasting quite a lot. And this is the Ronsil high performance wood filler in a natural, so it's a pine colour, and like I've said before, I prefer to use this just so it really stands out and you can see exactly where you've filled, because you can get the white coloured one of these as well, and it's just a bit tougher to see. So this way you know exactly where you are. So with something of this size, I'm going to use probably 4 little dots, one there, one there, one there, and one there, so it looks like that. That is enough hardener to send this off. And just mix it around nice and evenly. Make sure that hardener works into all of that filler. That should do. So I've got this flexi knife, filling knife, this flexi filling knife here as well for the smaller, more delicate bits. I'll give you an example of one of the bigger holes. In these old houses, the plug sockets actually used to be fitted onto the skirting boards. This here was quite a big hole, that was there, so that's the first fill in there. For the bigger holes you're going to need 2 fills. And then we have this bigger hole here as well, so I'm just trying to get it in a shape that's going to go in there relatively easy. Just force it in and just take the excess out of that, because we will be revisiting that once that goes off. And you can already see that's already taken up quite a bit of the filler that I've knocked up there. That's quite a big hole, that one. I don't try and fill it first time, because you'd just be wasting your time. So get a good amount in there and just let it go off. Other areas where there were big holes, again, I'm just going to give them a secondary fill. Where there's been any sort of marks where the filling knife has left like a gouge in there, that's all always advised to do as well. Like I say, we're just getting rid of all the imperfections leading to a perfect job. Now there's areas here where the new skirting board goes into the old skirting board. I mean, they've been matched up pretty well, but I'm going to wait until I've got a fresh mix of filler to tackle these, and probably, to be fair, once I've got these walls done. What I'll be doing with the areas that I've filled is actually touching them in with a mini roller rather than painting the whole wall again. Let that dry off, and then we'll give the wall its finishing coat all at the same time. It saves paint. You don't need to paint the whole wall again. If you've had to go around and do some spot filling like I have, I think you're wasting time and you're wasting money within the product there. Just touch them in with a mini roller, let them dry off completely, recut the edges in like I showed you on that wall, and you literally just repeat the process of cutting it in, rolling it up again, letting it dry off, and then you can start paying some attention to the woodwork. I'll probably do another video. Well, I will do another video when it comes to that anyway.